So guys, you can see we have 4 buttons and 8 LEDs. 4 buttons connected to first button to pin number C0, second to C1, third to C2, 4 to C3, B0, B1, B2, B3 up to B7. So if I press the first button, 1 LED turns on, second button, 2 LEDs turn on, third button, 4 LEDs turn on, 4 button, all 8 LEDs turn on. Now, what do you think? We have been using if else? No, we use the case statement to do this. So let me show you the code in a quick go. So there we wrote our code. See, we just initialize all the 4 buttons. We initialize all the 8 LEDs. Now we checked, we use the bit masking technique to check if the button is pressed. If the button is pressed, now this is here our case statement start. We are checking the state. So if first button is pressed, then only one LED of the port B is on. If the second button is pressed, this one, first two LEDs are on. If the third button is pressed, this one, then the 4 LEDs turn on. If the fourth button is pressed, all the 8 LEDs are turned on. If no button or multiple buttons are pressed, then nothing is on. So this coding gives us this result. Hello guys, welcome to Learning Microcontrollers. In this lecture, I will show you how you can use the case statement in MikroC for PIC. By MikroC, I mean a C++ compiler for PIC16F877A. You can use the same statement because it's in C++ syntax, so you can use any other compiler for any other microcontroller as well. Like you can use the same method in AVR Studio, MPLab, Arduino IDE, etc. But here I will use the MikroC for PIC because I have to use some to explain to you. So I will explain this with hardware demonstration, and for the hardware we will be using a PIC16F877A microcontroller, some push buttons, some LEDs, etc. So let's get started. So we will be learning by doing. So guys, this is our PIC16F877A microcontroller having 40 pins. It's at the IP version. This over here is the first push button, second, third, fourth. I will be having 4 push buttons. So let's first connect these buttons, then I will tell you how I'm gonna demonstrate case statement to you. So let's make the hardware first. So as you can see, each push button have 2 pins. I call the right one as a signal, left one as the VCC. Similarly for rest of the 3 buttons as well. So you can shuffle these 2 pins as well. It's a non-polar component, doesn't matter. Then guys, to interface this push button with the PIC, you need a 10K resistor. This 10K resistor can be either in pull up or pull down configuration. If you connect it in the pull down configuration, then whenever the button is pressed, a 1 is sent. In pull up configuration, it is the opposite. So in my case, I will connect this in such a way that whenever the button is pressed, a 1 is set. It means that the 10K resistor will be in the pull down configuration. So let's do the connections. First of all, for the top button, see, connect the signal pin to one end of the 10K resistor. From the same pin, you will take out your output. For the output, you can use any available GPIO pin of your PIC. I am going to use the pin number 15, that is pin number C0. Similarly, for the second button, I select pin number C1. Similarly, for the third button, I select pin number C2. Now, you can use any pin for the third button other than the one being used for the rest of the 2 buttons. So you have to make sure that don't use the same pin that is being used for other button. So in my case, C2 is available. Now for the fourth button, I will be using C3 because it is not being used by any other button. So there I go the 4 pins, C0, C1, C2, C3 are my button pins. Now guys, from the other end of the 10K resistors of each button, you just common them and send them to the ground. Now, if you are like examining a circuit and you want to know that either the button is connected in the pull up, like the resistor for the button is connected in pull up or pull down configuration, then you have to make sure that the 10K resistors one end, if it is at the grounding end, it means that whenever the button is pressed, a 1 is sent. So it is a very good tip regarding to examine a circuit. Now guys, for the other pin, that is the VCC pin, you just comma them and send it to the VCC pin of your PIC like this. In this way, your 4 buttons are connected. Whenever any of the button is pressed, a 1 will be sent to the corresponding pin of the PIC. Now I will also have 8 LEDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just for the demonstration purpose. Now to connect these LEDs with a PIC, you need a current limiting safety resistor. It can be of any value. Higher the value of the resistor, the dimmer the LED will go. So select it accordingly. In my case, it is a 220 ohm resistor. Each LED have 2 pins, one longer, one shorter. See, The longer pin is the power and shorter pin is always the ground. Now remember that you cannot shuffle these two pins VCC and ground. The longer is always the power and shorter is always the ground. If you do the opposite, it will get burned. Now let's connect them. For the top LED, okay, first of all, let's connect the ground common. All the ground pins of the LEDs are send them to the common ground of your PIC. Now let's do the connection. Since each LED will require one GPIO pin of the PIC, so I will select the port B. Port B has B0 to B7, total 8 pins. We have total 8 LEDs. So we will connect these 8 LEDs to the 8 pins of the port B. In this way, the whole port B will be LED port. So for the top LED, let's connect it first. Connect the longer pin to one end of its 220 ohm resistor. From the other end of this 220 ohm resistor, connect it to any available GPIO pin. In my case, I will be using the B7 pin. Similarly, for the second LED, I will be using B6. For the third LED, B5, B4, B3, B2, B1, B0. And that's all. Total 8 LEDs and 8 pins of the port B are occupied. Now take a look over here. We have 4 buttons and 8 LEDs. Now how we will program the PIC to demonstrate the case statement. So we will be programming this PIC in such a way that whenever any of the button is pressed, like if I press the button at C0, then we will have cases initialized. Whenever this is pressed, a single LED will turn on. At one LED of the port B will turn on, that is B0, this one. Whenever this button is pressed, whenever this is pressed, then what is going to happen? Then two LEDs, both LEDs will turn on. Whenever the third button is pressed, then these four LEDs will turn on. When the fifth button is pressed, then all the LEDs of the port B will turn on. Sorry, the fourth button. With first button, first LED, second button, these two LEDs, third buttons, 4 LEDs, and fourth button, 8 LEDs. So we will be going with the power of 2. Like 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2, that is this button, is 4. And 2 power 3 is 8. So that is just for demonstration purpose, I will make this sequence. So let me introduce you to the hardware, then we move on to the programming. So guys, this over here is the hardware. As you can see, these will be the 4 buttons. These will be the 8 LEDs. Starting from this side, B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7, total 8 LEDs. So these are the 4 buttons connected to C0, C1, C2, C3. And then this is our PIC at 3. It will be used to program the circuit and also to power up the circuit as well. This will be the PIC16F877A microcontroller in the back. So this is our total circuit over here. So let's move on to the programming. So this is our MikroC for PIC. Let me zoom in. Go to left, click on file, click on new. Next, write the name of the project, case statement demo. Path where your files will be created, microcontroller, PIC16F877A, crystal. I will be using a 20 MHz crystal connected to pin number 13 or 14 of my PIC. Click on next and finish. This window pops up. Before you do anything else, click on file and save. Save your work. Here you go. It's already saved. Okay. Press Ctrl S. Okay, that's great. Now we can do the programming. First of all, we have 4 LEDs connected to port C, C0, C1, C2, C3. So I write trace C is equals to 0B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are total 8 pins in binary. Trace is the direction register. Whenever you give trace and then value of 1 to any pin, that pin becomes an input pin. If it's 0, it means output. Since button is always an input component, so we have to make those pins which are responsible for button as input pins. Now we have total 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because port C have total 8 pins. First for C0 is 1, C2 is 1, C3 is C4 is 1. Rest we are not using, so just leave them 0. So first 4 pin has been declared as input. Now the second thing is, by default, I want all the pins, button pins of the port C to be 0. Why? Because when the button is pressed, a 1 is sent. And if the button is not pressed, then it should be opposite. So in that case, these same pins must be 0 in case the button is not pressed. Now see, we didn't use a trace, we write port C, we just gave it a low state. Now give some initialization delay, not necessary, but I always suggest you give it in the one time loop. Okay, here we go, the 4 buttons have been initialized. Now let's initialize the port B as output, because at the port B we have the 8 LEDs. I write trace B equals to 0 B, just copy paste this. Now total port B have 8 LEDs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, each bit represents one LED, like here it represents one button. So B0, B1, B2 and up to B7. So by default, I know, as I have told you earlier, trace register defines the direction of a pin. So in case we want to declare a pin as an output, then it must be assigned a 0 value. If we want to declare it as an input, like in case of button, it must be assigned a 1 value. So all the pins have to be declared output. So this is correct. All the pins have 0 value. Now by default, I want the port B to be low, because I don't want any LED to be on when the code runs. So I give low state to all the LEDs. We give some initialization delay, not necessary, but I always suggest you give it. Here we go, the 4 buttons initialize, 8 LEDs initialize. Now let's go to the forever loop and write our case statement. So there we go, the forever loop. Now first of all, we need to get the state of the button. Now there are various techniques. You can use the if else, but if we use the if else here, then what is the purpose of using the case? So I teach you a new way. We will be using the bit masking technique. I write unsigned short state. We take a unsigned short variable called state, and I use a bit masking here, port C and 0B. And here we have this value that what we want to check. Now what is going to happen over here is that whenever port C will be kept on comparing, like this state is having this value, port C is 0 by default, I have given it a 0 state, port B is 0. As soon as we add this, any of the button is pressed, only that respective button will go 1. In this way, whenever this button is pressed, like this button is pressed, we will get such a state like this pin will become 1. Okay, if this button is pressed, second is pressed, only this will become 1. And if the third is pressed, only third will become 1. In this way, we will get a unique value whenever any button is pressed. So I write here switch state. Now we use a case statement. Now see, we will be taking whatever the values in this integer, in this variable, sorry. State, I write here, we start here and here. Inside it, I write case. Our first case is, as I've already told you, that it works in comparison with this. Port C is by default this value. So whenever this button is pressed, the first button is pressed, this pins become 1. So I copy paste this. I think I remove 1 0. Okay, here you go. I just copy paste this value over here and paste it here. The case 1 is whenever this button is pressed, it will be added into it and it will be added into it, and then the first digit will become 1. If this digit becomes 1, then that is like button 1 is pressed. So here we will do whatever we want to do, like in case of your statements called if else, you write inside the statement, just write the statements. As I told you, we will be going into 2 power something. So 2 power 0 is 1, only the first LED of the port B will turn on. So this is our port B initial state, we paste it here. This LED turns on. That's what first button is gonna do. After that, it will remain on for some time. I call it like 250 milliseconds once the button is pressed once. After that, it will break. Now this is the syntax. You remove these two. This is the syntax of your case statement. See, simple. Now we write the second case. As I told you, we will be having total of how many cases? You do not need this. Okay, here, enter, press enter here. Now write the second case for the second button. Now here the second button is pressed. As I told you, if the second button is pressed, only this LED turns on. This pin will go high, rest will remain low for the port C. Press enter. Again, copy these 3 lines. That's all you need. Now instead of one LED, first two, both LEDs turn on, and then again the delay. Now write for the third button. Second button is pressed. Now the third button is pressed. Now when the third button is pressed, this goes 0. Third button is high. Then first four LEDs turn on like this. Now if the fourth button is pressed, then this one goes 1 and rest is 0, and all the LEDs turn on. All 8 LEDs are on. So in case no button is pressed, then the case statement offers you a default command. Default, if no button is pressed, else condition. You call it port B equals to, just go back to the initial state. This is the initial state. All the LEDs were off initially. Then we go back there. Now see, we have not programmed the multiple buttons. We only programmed if this one is pressed, if this one is pressed, or this one is pressed. See, we can also program the multi buttons as well, like these both are pressed. Then we can write more cases. So case statement is very useful. Now this is the syntax. See, switch whatever the value you want to check. So I will check the state value, because port C, if any button is pressed, then we get a value in the state after comparing with this. Port C is 0 cross 0 0. If any button is pressed, that specific pin goes high. So if button 1 is pressed, then this goes high. And if button 2 is pressed, then this go high. And then if button 3 is pressed, then this goes high. If button 4 is pressed, then this go high. Because as shown in the presentation as well, button 1 is connected to pin number C0, that is the bit 0 of the port C. 2 is connected to pin number C1, bit 2. Button 3 is connected to pin number C2, that is bit 3. And button 4 is connected to pin number C3, that is bit 4 of the port C. That is why we are using these conditions over here. Now this is our simple code of using the case statement and demonstration using 4 buttons. I built this code. Check for error. So there is an error here. What is the error? Okay, we made an error with a syntax or something. Okay, let me check. Okay, we made a mistake here. The case statement, this will have these columns, not the semicolons. So that is the syntax of the case statement. Make correction. So that is the syntax of the case statement. I build this again. Okay, no error. That's perfect build. Go to your PIC16 programmer tool. Select the microcontroller, PIC16F877A. Click on file, import hex file. Click on write. Okay, that's great. Go to your hardware, power up the circuit using PIC16 programmer tool. Here you go. It's powered up. Now see, by default, when no button is pressed, all the LEDs are off. That is what we just wanted. See, we wrote it ourselves that our initial state is 0. And here too, if no button is pressed, then it will be 0. That's great. Okay, now let's try pressing the buttons. Now if I press C0, this is C0, C1, C2, C3, C3, 0, C1, C2 and C3, total 4 buttons. I press this button. See, the first LED is on. That is 2 power 0 is equal to 1. Now this button, first both LEDs are on. See, both are on. Only one on, red one. Now both are on. Red and green both. I press this again, see, second, and I press a third button, 4 LEDs turn on. I press the fourth button, all the LEDs are on, 2 power 3, see. So that is how the case statement can be used. Now I have taught you how to use a case statement. So guys, this is it. If you guys have any questions, please do ask. We'll see you in the next lecture. Goodbye until then.